All right. I think we're good. Everybody is so good to see all of you. It's been a little bit, and but we've just had so many people ask about when are we getting back. And so I'm excited to be here. And again, the classes will be recorded and I'll send the replay out. So as long as you're registered or we know that you have that as something you want, we'll send you the replay. I am just really excited because when we talk about the digestive system, that really is one of the things that's overlooked and it's often abused. And it's kind of like we eat without really ever thinking about what our digestive system is doing and how we're supporting it or not supporting it. And a lot of times with the typical foods that are served and typical foods that we're eating these days, eating a lot of packaged, a lot of processed foods, most of them don't have a lot of nutritional value. And our digestive system just continues to take a real backseat to our really busy lives. And when that digestive system continues to go unsupported, you can expect to see things like fatigue, skin irritations, headaches, reflux is another one, ulcers, constipation, bacterial overgrowth, and even things like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's disease, and colon cancer are related to some of the things that we miss with our digestive system. So it's not a system we want to ignore. So today I want us to just stop a little bit, take a step in the right direction. We're going to cover some of the basics and get you set up so that you can start making some real positive changes in this department. And when you take a bite of that apple or whatever you're eating now, you'll know what happens to it, where it goes, and what are some things that are causing major damage to your digestive system, and what are some things that will work so that you can avoid this long list of potential hazards in your body. Today, I want to talk about that a little bit. And as I said, I'll be on afterward for specific questions that you might have after the class. But first of all, let me just remind you, this is Dr. Nazella here. I'm a doctor of education, and I'm very, very passionate about helping us to have the best quality of life by using the safest, most effective, and natural ways that support our bodies and don't just cover up systems. When it comes to digestion, I have really had my issues all since childhood. I have struggled with digestive issues most of my life. As a child, it seems like I was constantly constipated because I was just afraid of nasty bathrooms. I was afraid to ask my father to stop to use the bathroom when we were traveling. I was taught to, quote, hold it when we were at church or at school until there was an appropriate time for a bathroom break. And I mean, I just totally ignored my system. And I've tried to retrain myself and work more intentionally, but the damage has been done. And so I've had to be very intentionally look at ways to repair this system after all these years of abuse. And so I'm excited to share a lot of things with you today. You also should know that there's a really strong connection between the brain and the gut and the emotions that are tied to that gut. Just think about it. When we're really nervous, we feel that real pit in the stomach. And I was a nervous child, and so I struggled a lot with fears and a lot of unprocessed emotions that really settled in the gut. And now I kind of understand why I've had so many challenges with my gut. But the good news is that I've been really practicing what I'm going to be talking about with you today. And I can say I just feel a whole lot better. Especially after all the things I've had to deal with, even just in the last 3 years, physically and emotionally. And so I know that these are things that have really worked for me, and I look forward to hearing how they can be helpful for you as we talk about them a little bit more. I do want to put this disclaimer out there. This is not intended to replace the advice of your healthcare provider. It's not intended to diagnose, to treat, to prevent, or to cure any disease, okay? You want to find a healthcare provider that's going to work along with you and is aligned with your goals and your values. But this information is for educational purposes only. I am a doctor of education. I'm super, super passionate about providing you with all the resources that you need so you can make the best decisions for your health with your healthcare provider. My goal is to empower you to have that information and the resources you need so you can take care of your health and you can be a partner in your health plans, whatever those may be. So let's start out. We know that everything that you eat must go through your digestive system. It's kind of like a river that runs through us, okay? So you turn your food into molecules and our cells that are used for energy, for maintenance, for growth, for repair, and for waste products. It kind of brings the nutrients to your cell. It helps run our metabolism. It makes the vitamins. It is closely connected to the function of the immune system. In fact, keep in mind, 2/3 of your immune system is in the gut. And this complex web of muscles and organs even sends messages to our brain, and it plays a major role in the endocrine system, those are hormones, and your cardiovascular system. So think about this like an irrigation system. It's a large source of water that goes through narrower and narrower and narrower as it brings the water out to small portions of the field. And for optimum health and function of plants, keep in mind, the water must remain unblocked. And that's the same for your body. If your digestive system gets blocked and things don't flow like they should, your cells lose their capacity to function fully. And you could feel tired, you could feel sluggish, you could experience brain fog, you can see those changes in your skin and even develop symptoms of disease. So clearly it's so important that we support this system as it communicates to every cell of our body. So let's just take a quick trip through the digestive system and see what this marvelous system entails. When I was teaching this in the classroom, I actually had a little kit that I could actually show people some of these pieces. So I'm going to try to describe it to you. But first of all, you start with the brain. So even before you take a bite, your brain starts to imagine what that food will taste like. Okay, something you've had before, oh, you can look forward to, is something that you haven't had a good experience with. Well, you start thinking about that. Your digestive juices, your saliva, your enzymes, and your digestive hormones, they start to flow in anticipation for what's to come. Then it goes to the mouth. Now, the salivatory glands, they're the ones that soften the food with your teeth when you're chewing it, and they increase the surface area of the food. And that's why we talk a lot about chewing the food very good. A lot. And then we have the esophagus. And this is like a little tube that passes the food from the mouth to the stomach. At the bottom of it is a little door, and that's called the esophageal splinter. And it kind of keeps the stomach acid and the food from coming back up. Okay. So that esophagus is about 10, 13 inches. So think of that. And then you got your stomach. And this is your body's blender, okay? Bits of food are mixed with acid and enzymes that break down even further, and they turn into kind of a soupy liquid called chyme, okay? And the stomach is only about the size of your 2 fists relaxed, okay? So it can hold about 2.5 ounces of liquid when it is in a relaxed stage, but it can expand to hold about a quart, okay? And then you'll have the small intestine. Okay, this is the longest one. Okay, here is where your food is completely digested. The nutrients are absorbed from the food, and it's made about 3 parts. There's the duodenum, the jejunum, and the ileum. And each section is absorbing a different set of nutrients. The small intestine is about 22 feet, okay, long, and it's about 1 inch wide. So the food has a long way to travel, and you want to make sure that you're able to push it through. That's why it's important to have fiber. Now, the large intestine, the main job of it is to remove water from what was left from that food that went through the small intestine. And it also absorbs some more nutrients, and it is what forms the stool. And after the stool is well formed, it gets pushed into the descending colon and into the rectum, and where it exits the body. And the large intestine is about 6 feet long. So if it's working well, when you poop, it's going to be like a banana, okay? And keep in mind, if you're really working well, you're going to poop after every meal. Remember how babies do that? Well, we've kind of got away from that, but that's when we know that we're really working well and the system is working the way it should. Now, we want to talk about, after knowing how it works, let's look at some of the practical information. What can cause your digestive process to break down? Or what could cause it to malfunction? Well, the first main cause, you probably guessed it, is going to be poor diet. Foods with added sugar, refined oils and grains, processed foods, and we like to think about it as ultra processed food, which is any food that you cannot produce in your kitchen. Okay, it's ultra processed. It's got chemicals and stuff in it. You can't reproduce that in your kitchen. Okay, fast foods, fried foods, synthetic food additives, even conventional dairy products can have a potential to disrupt your digestive process. Sugar can actually feed the growth of yeast, candida, and bad bacteria in your gut. And bad bacteria then creates exotoxins, which cause damage to your really healthy cells. And they even eat away with your intestinal wall, which causes what we have been hearing a lot about, leaky gut. And there's certain tiny particles that should never enter into your bloodstream. They start to make it through that intestinal wall that's been damaged, which can lead to a potential laundry list of problems like autoimmune disease, irritable bowel syndrome, food sensitivities, thyroid problems, so much more. Now, the second main cause of digestive dysfunction is going to be toxic overload, which includes a high consumption of alcohol, environmental toxins, and chemicals, even chemicals from over-the-counter drugs, prescription drugs, illegal drugs, just any synthetic chemicals. The body was not designed to process. And so our liver has to process all of these toxins, and it detoxifies what it can. But if it can't break it down, it will store it there and in other tissues within the body. And then you get things like radioactive substances, pesticides, food preservatives, dyes. All these things get stored if the liver can't get rid of them. And not only can the liver take a beating, but so can the intestines. Unfortunately, as I mentioned before, some medications like antibiotics and the non-sterile inflammatory drugs like painkillers, they often irritate the intestinal wall as well. And we know that antibiotics reduce the good bacteria in the gut, which you need so much in order to support your immune system. Now, the third main cause of digestive dysfunction, which often is overlooked, is chronic stress. Now, I know this isn't necessarily a food or a substance, but it plays a major role in how your gut functions, okay? Stress actually weakens your immune system, and it can reduce your ability to fight off things like viruses and bad bacteria. And sometimes we get so used to chronic stress, so used to high cortisol levels, that we think that's normal, and we don't realize the toll that it's been playing on our body. And as I mentioned to you earlier, for me in the last 3 years, when you think about all the things that have gone on just in our society, and then we lost our daughter, we had grief, so we had major stress things going on, and all of that took a toll on my digestive system. And it was really, really important for me to work with this in a way that I could help support this system, which is some of the things I'm going to talk to you about today. So let's look at some ways to really help that digestive system. As I mentioned earlier, chew your food well. Okay, if you aren't chewing your food thoroughly, the rest of your digestive system will have to work even harder to get it broken down. So chewing can help reduce gas. It can help with indigestion. It also stimulates the parotid glands that release the hormones that stimulates the thymus to produce your T cells, which are in your immune system. So chewing the food is really important. And then, as I mentioned earlier, reduce your stress. Chronic stress lengthens the amount of time the food will stay in the body, okay, when we don't want it there, okay? When you're in chronic stress, then the digestive system kind of stops working because it thinks it needs to really help fight, and flight and all that stuff for you, okay? So this can lead to issues like IBS. It can lead to inflammation. It can lead to ulcers. So do yourself a favor and remove some of the stressors from your life, or start incorporating more stress relieving activities. Talk a lot about deep breathing. We talk about yoga, meditation, reading, listening to music, prayer, all of these things. On my website, I have 14 days to self-love. That's a way to get you started if you need to reduce stress in your life. And then drink sufficient water. Too little water on a daily basis really leads to constipation. Drinking adequate water, at least half your body weight in ounces a day, usually not more than 100 ounces a day, can really help food pass through the intestines more easily. And some find that it's more beneficial to drink their water apart from their meal times. And then, as I mentioned earlier, eat enough fiber. Think about that small intestine being 21 feet long, you really gonna need to have that fiber to help move it through. Foods rich in fiber help things move along that intestine. And there are two main types of fiber. Keep this in mind. There's your soluble fiber, and then there's your insoluble. The insoluble fiber helps to track the water to your stool and makes it softer and easier for you to eliminate. The soluble fiber creates kind of a gel in the system, which is said to kind of prolong the stomach emptying, and it allows for better nutrient absorption because you don't want it to pass through too fast. You want to get the nutrients out of the food you eat. Too much fiber can cause constipation and bloating, especially if you try to do it all at once quickly. So increase your intake gradually, and then make sure that you're drinking plenty of water when you do that. And then, of course, get moving. Exercise is just a great way to get the blood pumping and oxygen flowing through your organs. It gets the muscles in your GI tract flexing too. It even has a direct correlation to maintaining a healthy gut microbiome and your immune system. I find that just simply walking after a meal brings a lot of relief for me. And it's just a simple thing to do. So it's not like you have to go and work out at the gym, just move around, okay? Of course, stop smoking and drink less alcohol. Smokers tend to get heartburn, and they tend to get peptic ulcers. They're also at an increased risk of Crohn's disease, gallstones, liver disease, and some cancers associated with the digestive organs. And then alcohol, we know, decreases the gut's ability to absorb nutrients, and it also reduces digestive enzymes in the digestive tract, and it can have an inflammatory effect on those intestines. We've also found if you can just add berries and green tea. Berries are so rich in polyphenols, which promote good bacteria growth in your gut, and they limit harmful bacteria. The high antioxidant content that is in berries can also alleviate the inflammation in the body. And we know that all disease starts with inflammation. Green tea also contains antioxidants, including those polyphenols, and it's been shown to have anti-inflammatory, detoxifying, and immune stimulating effects. So get that green tea and those berries, and then try foods that are warm instead of cold. One of the things we found is that cold foods can take a while to break down and digest, whereas warm foods allow for easier digestion and fluidity within your digestive tract. And then lastly, we found that implement some really quality supplements. You want to consider things like the probiotics and the prebiotics, because those help to build the good bacteria in the gut. They really support the gut. And I really feel like Young Living has some really quality supplements in this department. And we'll talk about some of them a little bit more. We'll talk about Life 9. We'll talk about Digest and some of these. So let's just take a look at a few of these that I found to be extremely helpful when we're talking about supporting the gut. I want to look at ICP daily, okay? Because this is one that I really think has been helpful for me. It really helps us to get on track. ICP daily is a prebiotic, and it's a fiber drink. It's not only delicious, but it's super, super easy on the stomach. So it's one that you can do every day, okay? Because it contains ingredients like agave, inulin, it has guar gum, it has prickly pear, cactus extract, and it has original formula of essential oils that are just so good for the gut: fennel, anise, tarragon, ginger, lemongrass, and rosemary. And when you combine all of these with the prebiotics, and about 5 grams of the soluble fiber, you really are supporting the gut, you're supporting your cardiovascular system, and supporting the immune system. And what I really like about it is, again, it's an ideal way on a daily basis to really help maintain that healthy gut microbiome. And it aids in the body's natural detoxification process, which promotes really healthy postbiotics in the gut, and it helps you feel a little full a little longer. And unlike some quite laxatives, it helps your body to naturally use its peristalsis system to support elimination, and you don't become dependent. As I mentioned, it's so good for the cardiovascular system as well as the immune system. And some people take it like in the morning, before first thing in the morning, like just a little bit into a glass of warm water. I have found it has been extremely helpful for me to take it as the last thing I drink before I go to bed, not right before I go to bed, so I don't have to get up in the middle of the night, but like the last thing I drink at night, because then it seems to work really well overnight for me. Now, another thing I wanted to talk to you a little bit about is Life 9, because we talked about how important it is to restore that good bacteria in the gut. And the Life 9 is a very, very potent prebiotic. Before I learned about Life 9, I had tried many different probiotics over the years, and I have just found this one to be so wonderful in the way that it works, because it does support that healthy immune function. It maintains optimal metabolism, and it really promotes the normal intestinal function. It has about 17 billion live cultures with 9 beneficial bacteria strains. And you just need 1 capsule a day. So it generally provides the probiotics that you need to support your gut. If you need a little additional support because of something that's gone on, then you may want to add another capsule or 2 during that particular time. The only caution is if you're taking something like Inner Defense for your, which is a combination of oils that really support your immune system, try to take them about 8 hours apart so that you don't do them together. But I usually take the Life 9 in the evening. Again, with my ICP is how I do it, but you can follow it however the bottle suggests. Now, the other thing I think is so important is making sure that you're getting enzymes. Enzymes are needed for every chemical reaction that occurs in the body. So think to control your blood sugar levels, to build your bone and cartilage, to break down your hormones, to utilize vitamins and minerals, everything. I mean, our body produces them, but sometimes we run a little low thanks to a lot of things like the poor diet, medications that we take, exposure to toxins, cooked, packaged, processed foods. They don't even have any enzymes in them. Actually, fresh and locally grown foods or fermented foods are much better choice, and they can really be an excellent source for enzymes, especially if you can get fermented foods as well. But one of the things that we've learned is our agricultural practices have decreased the amount of enzymes that are in our food now. And also, the older you get, the less enzymes that you produce. And it's just not always feasible to get fresh fruit and to get fermented foods. So supplementation really is a great option. And so I really like Young Living because they have several different enzymes to choose from. But I think Essential Enzymes 4 is a great one to start with, because it has ginger, fennel, tarragon, and anise all in this dual enzyme capsules, and the capsules are time release. It's awesome. The plant-based enzymes are designed to release immediately as soon as they enter the stomach, where the environment is conducive for the digestion of plant material. And then the animal-based enzymes are designed to target and release in the lower intestine region, where the environment is better suited for the digestion of animal fats and proteins. So in combination, these two capsules aid in the digestion of your dietary fats, your proteins, your fiber, your carbohydrates for an optimal nutrient absorption. And that's really what we want. And it's really awesome if you can take like a packet which has the two capsules in it. It's a blister packet is how it comes. Take it with each meal, a little before the meal. But if you forget, just take it with the meal, especially your two heaviest meals. When you're really having problems, you may want to be taking it with every meal and throughout the day. And then I do want to talk about one other thing today on our call today, which is a little shorter, and that's Digest, because it is an amazing blend of essential oils. Again, you get the tarragon, you get the ginger, the peppermint, juniper, fennel, lemongrass, anise, and patchouli. They all have antioxidants, and they all support the digestive system when you're taking it internally. And this is a vitality. Remember, the vitality oils are in the white label, and the white label shows that they are approved to be taken internally. So this is one you can carry with every meal. Mr. Daly talked about how he actually takes it with every meal. He just puts drops under his tongue. I think he's a lot braver and stronger. I'll admit it doesn't taste that great, but I like to perhaps put a drop in my water, or put just a couple drops in a capsule, carry the capsule with you, and then just ingest it like that. But it really, really helps support and cleanse the digestive system. It helps to really promote your immune support, contains antioxidants. It's so easy to carry and have with you. And like I said, you just take 2 or 3 drops prior to a meal, put it in a capsule, put a few drops in water, or a couple drops. A lot of times I put a couple drops on my tea bag when I'm doing tea. And it works well when you can take it with your essential signs 4 to help support wellness when you're getting ready to do your meal. Because it's just a really, really great complement at that time in what it has. And what's really great is that you can actually get the ones I talked about today in a supplement stack. And for less than $5 a day, you can really support this important system, improve your overall immune system, keeping in mind 2/3 of your immune system is in the gut. And the gut and brain connection is key for optimal health. So here just is one way. If you are looking for a way to support health right now, you've got a lot of issues. It's like, where do I start? This is perfect. Start with just this stack. I'd say try it do it for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days is optimal. You will definitely see improvement. And I tell you, this is one of the things that I have seen happen in my own life with all the things that have been going on. These are staples that I make sure that I'm doing on a daily basis. The ICP daily, the Essential Zymes 4, the Life 9, and the Digest. And again, just in $5 a day. And I did want to let you know, your body is such an amazing web of intricate systems, and with everything working together, our goal is just to keep you alive and well and feeling amazing. Okay, that's what your body's here. And so if you want to have that healthy hair, the skin, the nails, all of that, it's so important that your digestive system has all the support that it needs. And this is just a great way to start. I just mentioned, a few of the supplements, the Love Your Gut supplement stack is a great way to start. And if you're new to Young Living, I just wanted to let you know it's real easy to get these. I mean, you just go to youngliving.com or just take a picture of this QR code here, add the items you want to your cart. You will get a 24% discount immediately if your order is 100 product value the first time. And that 24% discount will last you all year long. And if you really want to save even more, and these are things you're going to be using on a monthly basis, I encourage you to sign up for loyalty rewards, because then you get the 24% discount. You also are going to start getting immediately 10% back in product value which adds up to dollars, okay? And that can add up, depending on how long you're on, up to 25%. So, and you get free product. And what happens is a lot of people find out they're getting a lot of their products free. So it really is an inexpensive way to support your health. And again, I like to ask myself, what is my health worth? What cost would I really put on my health if I had to? So less than $5 a day, hey, you can do it. I do want to thank you so much for being here with me today. Here's the QR code again. And let me just encourage you, if you're looking for a way for you to really know how to support your health, how to put together a plan that will help you work with your healthcare provider, please make sure you sign up for a wellness consult, for our wellness scan. That'll give you some wonderful information about what's going on with you. And we've got a special deal on that as well today. I do want to thank you all so much for spending your time with me today. It's always wonderful to see you. I'm always here to help you and look for ways, help you find those ways that can help you obtain your maximum health. So have a super, super week. And we look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye, everyone.